Hi everyone, it's Nat here. Hope you're all doing well. I'm on today with my project for Helmar creative team. Now, it was due in August. It's a little bit late because I've been very busy. I went away for a few days and then when I got back I got a new puppy and she is making it quite hard to achieve anything. So she's asleep at the moment, so I thought I'd get this filming done. So today I'll be using the Craft and Hobby PVA glue and the Crystal Coat gloss varnish. And what I thought I would do is I picked up some coaster blanks at the secondhand store one day recently. I thought it'd be great fun to do a bit of collaging on these and make some little decorations for my wall, I think. The link to Helmar will be down below, and I'll also put a direct link to the two products that I'm using today. But head on over and see what they've got because they've got heaps of different adhesives. They've also got your varnishes. They have a spray adhesive, which is great fun to use as well. And they've got other products, so do go and check them out. They're a wonderful Australian company. So let's see what we can make with these. So I've got my blank coasters here and I've got white gesso, and I'm just using a paintbrush to apply the white gesso just to the edges of the coasters. Going a little bit over to the front there, but just a tad. Sometimes you get a build-up of gesso going over to the front and back, so I just smooth that out a bit with my brush. So I do all four edges. And I repeat that process for the rest of my coasters. So it's quite a quick project today, although there was drying time in between all the bits that I did. So once that's dry, I'm just adding some of the PVA glue there to my little palette and then a little bit of water, about a 70-30 mix, something like that. So you can see there I've got a pile of bird stamps from my stash. I'm just sticking them down with the PVA, again using a paintbrush for this. Then I brush some PVA over the top of them as well, just to seal them. I do find that they can lift and wrinkle a little bit, so what I do is grab a paper towel and just press them down a little bit and then apply some extra glue over the top at the end. So I repeated this process again with the other two coasters, but I chose some different stamp themes for them. I did the I did Queen stamps for one of the other ones, and then I did just some random stamps, random vintage stamps for the last one. So you can see there, I'm just pressing them down to get good contact with the paper towel. So once they're all dry, I can trim the edges with my scissors. It's very hard to get it perfectly to the edge as neat as you want. So I then go in with an emery board or a nail file just to file down the edges. That removes any of the little bits of paper that are sticking over. I'm also taking it back to the gesso just a little bit there on the edge, which creates a nice border as well. So now I have my stamp block, and I've got a few different types of stamps, mostly postage themed. I'm using my StazOn ink to do this and just stamping some extra details onto each of my coasters. I specifically use the StazOn ink because it won't run or bleed or anything when I add PVA over the top again. So I have the PVA water mix there again, and I'm just going over the top of my coaster with that, and then adding a focal point, which is a fussy cut out of a book that I have here. So for this one, I'm using a butterfly. I also use a bird and a flower for my other ones. Again, I felt that I had to just press it down to get good contact with the paper towel, and then I reapply the PVA. So here's my bird one. And just putting a nice coat over the top. And this is the one with my vintage stamps, and I'm adding a flower to that. So I let the PVA dry really well, then I take them out to the carport and I stand them up and I give them a nice spray coat of the Helmar Crystal Coat Gloss varnish. So I've finished my projects for today, and I've got 3 beautiful little coasters that I can put on my wall. You could varnish them even more and actually use them as coasters, but I'd rather put them up on my wall. Got a lot of spaces that I haven't filled up yet, so it'd be nice to have some extra decorations. So of course I collaged my postage stamps over the bottom and sealed them with the PVA, and then went over the top of the whole lot with the Crystal Coat Gloss varnish just to seal it really nicely, and it'll make it easier to clean as well and just protect all the papers. So we've got this one with the Queen stamps and the butterfly. And you saw that I did a bit of extra stamping too, and I used my StazOn ink for that specifically because I knew it wasn't going to run and bleed and that when I put the extra PVA over the top. So I've got that one, I've got this one with the birds, and then this one with the flower. I think this one's my favourite. It's got some nice vintage stamps in the background. So that was a great fun project. So if you've got an excess of stamps, it's a wonderful way to use some of them up. So I hope you did enjoy that. Thanks to Helmar for their awesome glues. So I hope you're having a crafty week, and I will see you again soon. Bye.